Hello and welcome to today's webinar, How to Procure Faster and Accelerate Technology Adoption Through Cloud Marketplaces. I'm Nina, Production Manager at AIM, and AIM is your host and producer of today's events. Iron Mountain is the sponsor of today's webinar. We thank them for their support and thank you for taking the time to join us today. And now to introduce today's host of MC, Kevin Crane. As AIM's content strategist, Kevin authors ebooks and infographics on a wide variety of intelligent information management and digital transformation topics. He's the producer and host of AIM On Air podcast, which was recently listed as a top 10 business process management podcast and named one of 2022's top electronic discovery podcasts by Player FM. Take it away, Kevin.
Thanks, Nina. Thanks a lot, everyone, for being here. It's great to be back for another AIM webinar, this time with our friends from Iron Mountain and AWS, talking about how to procure technology faster and accelerate technology adoption. And it's an important topic because organizations everywhere are looking for ways to be more efficient and more innovative. And we often think of efficiency and innovation as using the latest technology to do things like improve workflow or reduce costs or to boost organizational performance. I guess that's the point of technology adoption, is efficiency and innovation. But one big factor that is often overlooked in all of this is the efficiency and innovation in procuring these new technologies. What are the best technologies? Where do I find them? How do I compare them? What's the ROI? These are all really important questions, and we've got to figure it out now and make innovation happen now, make the technology pay before our competitors do. So the question becomes, how can you procure faster and accelerate technology adoption in ways that really move the needle? That's what we'll be discussing today with our guests from Iron Mountain and AWS. We'll learn how to simplify and accelerate the procurement process and enable access to a wide range of pre-vetted solutions and how we can optimize our technology investments over time. So with all of that said, let's bring our guests on today, starting with Helene Fox. Helene, are you with us?
I am. Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Hello, Helene. It's great to have you with us. Helene is the Global Director of Digital Solutions for Iron Mountain. Helene supports digital transformation and modernization strategies to help customers automate business processes and better leverage data. She works with clients advising on the most effective ways to leverage advanced technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and people and process to achieve desired business outcomes. Joining Helene is Jake Houskins. Jake, are you with us?
Yes, looking forward to the talk today.
Thank you so much for being with us also today, Jake. Jake is a document processing specialist at AWS, and he leads the worldwide intelligent document processing specialist team at AWS, where he helps customers leverage AI and to make better and faster decisions. He's got over 15 years of experience building businesses at the intersection of new technology and business model change. So welcome, Helene and Jake, to our session today. I'd like to start with you, Helene, if I could, but Jake, please feel free to jump in. Helene, what is your advice for our listeners now looking to adopt a more enabling approach to technology procurement?
Thank you, Kevin. Let's start with Cloud Marketplace. So Cloud Marketplace revenue will grow to $45 billion by 2025. And that's an estimate that's more than doubled since before the pandemic, which really highlights that customers are beginning to rethink the way they procure the software, data, and services they need to run their business. And despite economic conditions, dollars are still flowing through the cloud. So what is Marketplace? At its core, it's really a curated digital catalog that enables you, enterprises worldwide, to find, subscribe, and deploy third-party software, data, and services almost instantly. In terms of advice, I think first, seek to understand your organization's marketplace buying behavior. Are you using Cloud Marketplace today? Is your organization thinking about modernizing their procurement strategy to include Cloud Marketplace? There are some resources and tools available to help. And second, if you're considering automating business processes with things like machine learning based classification, intelligent document processing, or workflow automation, contact center AI, explore the partner ecosystem and service providers available via Cloud Marketplace to get started. Jake, any advice for our listeners?
The thing I always like to think about is where can you be mindful on using standardized process versus where does it pay off to use something very bespoke? The big thing I speak with customers about is what's the advantage of going faster? So what's your opportunity cost of taking the extra 3 to 6 months to negotiate something very bespoke? That's maybe a little bit better versus if you can improve your business process now by using technology such as Cloud Marketplace, you can impact your business much faster and make an impact this year instead of waiting till next year.
All right, Helene and Jake, it may be helpful for our audience to define what we mean by Cloud Marketplace. I'm not certain if everyone is on the same page with what that is. What is the Cloud Marketplace and why is it so important?
Jake, do you want to take that?
Yeah, sure. The AWS Marketplace is available for all AWS customers. It makes it easy to find, test, buy, and manage software that you would run on AWS. And so it's across a wide variety of different industry or segments that you might want to go buy in. So think about business applications, security, data, my favorite, machine learning, which is where I work in. And it's really designed so that way you can procure much faster. So think about standardized contract terms. You can negotiate bespoke terms if you'd like with the providers, as well as pricing. And the pricing range is anything from pay as you go to committed contracts that you can sign for the providers. It's really designed of how can you get the technology into your business much faster with a lot less hassle.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. That's helpful. All right. So my question then becomes, Helene or Jake, how are organizations using this approach to, as I mentioned in my introduction, spur technology adoption and move innovation along more quickly?
I can take that, Jake. I think what's so exciting is the advantage to draw down on your organization's committed spend with cloud providers. This is so important, as many of us on this call have budget constraints within the line of business, and the ability to leverage committed cloud spend to foster key initiatives, such as accelerating workloads to the cloud or automation and implementation of AI ML, is a tremendous advantage. And it opens up the opportunity to test out some of the advanced technologies available. Jake?
Yeah, I was meeting with a CFO a few months ago, and we were sharing this, ability to use AWS Marketplace. And he asked, like, why wouldn't I run all my spend through this so that way I can get a better discount? We all kind of looked at him like, yeah, it's
I had the same conversation this morning, Jake.
Yeah, so it's if it's available there, it's a huge win to be able to run the spend through the AWS Marketplace. And so that way it's not just easier on the procurement team, but makes the CFOs happy because then they get to save some extra money.
All right, how do I get started with Cloud Services Marketplace?
Sure. All AWS customers can go and use that. So you just need to have an AWS account, and then you can go onto the AWS Marketplace. So it's on the top navigation. If you go to AWS, you can click on it. You can see the thousands of different providers that are there, including Insight from Iron Mountain, and thousands of others as well. And so all you have to do is go look at it, and it has reviews, it has product descriptions, and then it also has a buying process that you would expect buying software online. And it's really designed to make it a lot easier for you. And it, depending upon if your organization has a committed spend, it would help count against that. But even if you don't, it's still a lot faster to go procure the technology for yourselves.
All right, so it's sort of a clearinghouse then, or a singular place potentially to go. Does it give me ways that I can more clearly evaluate the different solutions and maybe even generate some sort of reports that give me a sense of my ROI? How does it work if I'm a procurement person or if I'm in that process? How does it support that process for me?
Sure. So it makes it easy so that way you can see what's available, what are the terms, and then you also can try it to make sure, well, most of the providers allow you to test out and try the software and make sure with the other stakeholders within your organization that it really meets their needs. And then when it does, you can pick the right contract term for yourself. And then once you have it, the same ways you could, manage a lot of other like subscriptions on AWS, you can then go and see everything you have as well as the dates and the renewals. So you can manage your software in a much easier way by using our dashboard.
All right, Helene, we talked about the idea of spurring or accelerating technology adoption. And one thing I think people are really looking to do is start taking advantage of some of the more advanced tools in AI and machine learning. In what ways can this approach help organizations more quickly and successfully gain the benefits of technologies like AI?
Sure. Earlier, I mentioned Marketplace being somewhat of a curated digital catalog and the access to the partner ecosystem. In addition to that, there's really the simplicity of procurement. Our customers, you on this call, you can easily support a POC, and it's almost a frictionless experience. Like Jake mentioned, you can test it out. You can also accelerate time to value. So Marketplace connects you to those partners that can deliver turnkey offerings and offer immediate access to advanced tools and technology. So really go for it. Like, all of us who are part of the AIM community are in the business of managing information. So test out intelligent document processing, which uses machine learning-based classification, extraction, and enrichment to turn really the mountains of unstructured data we all have into usable content, which in turn will help you better manage, use, and govern the information. Jake, a Forrester study just recently highlighted tremendous benefits of using AWS Marketplace for AWS customers. Can you share your thoughts on how your customers are benefiting from technologies like artificial intelligence and machine learning, intelligent document processing?
Sure. Yeah, so our customers, so I work on the intelligent document processing specialist team, and our customers are really, they understand that they have a paperwork problem as part of their business. So maybe the paperwork's going too slow and you're not able to deliver for your end customers to meet the SLAs, or maybe you're missing business if you're not getting quotes out to a broker, if you're an insurance company. So there's all of these challenges that you have. And then when the customers, our customers, enterprise customers, are looking to go faster, they have a choice to make. It's like, hey, do we want to go and kind of take the fast route and buy something that's available via AWS Marketplace where the AI is baked in? And it's not just the AI for document processing, it's all of the workflow that goes around it. So if you're looking at the meetings you have to actually implement document processing, most of it is around the business terms and business rules that you put around it. It's not the AI, we make that easy, but it's everything you put on top. And by being able to go buy something on AWS Marketplace, again, using preset contracts that are easy to use, clear pricing, and then you also can negotiate with vendors if you'd like to make a private offer. So it makes it much faster. For customers that do want to go build with AI, it's available. Anybody can go sign up on our site to go use services like Textract and Comprehend, but you do need to be able to use the APIs, and engineers will always say yes to going to build something, but you have to look at time to value, as Helene mentioned. So if you want to get in production as fast as possible to help solve your paperwork, using partners via AWS Marketplace is the fastest way to go, versus if you have an extremely unique process and there's no SaaS offering available, then you are always able to go build on AWS using our native technologies like Textract and Comprehend.
Now, of course, cloud-based services and applications, the first thing folks, or the perennial concern that folks have about that, is security. Security and compliance are still major considerations. Helene, what do you say to our audience members may be concerned about that?
Yes, absolutely, right? Considerations for ensuring compliance must always be made. And really, Jake mentioned documents needing to be processed. They need to be processed across really all industries. And there's an ever-present requirement to comply with regulations issued by federal, regional, and local authorities. And as you think about data privacy law, it's becoming more and more prevalent by region, each with its own variation of expectation for compliance, but all have serious consequences, which all of us on the phone know. And they have both reputational and financial risk and impacts as well for non-compliance. So there are really tremendous benefits of adopting AI ML, which we really, and other technologies, which we've communicated. Understanding your content, classifying it, extracting it, being able to access it when you need it, and it really support ensuring compliance. And those are really some of those benefits. Jake, any thoughts on compliance?
Yeah, it's a critical discussion for all of our customers, especially in the regulated industries we work with. And so the nice thing when you're able to go build your document processing on AWS is that it makes your security teams and IT teams happy. So it's running in the region that they want it to run in, and it works with all the security measures they come to expect from their solutions to keep the documents secure. That's why we have a huge amount of business with public sector, insurance, healthcare, lending industries, just because that security posture is there for them and it supports their needs.
We're here talking about how to procure faster and how to spur technology adoption. And it's an important topic because I think in the real world, folks are looking to take advantage of opportunities. Helene and Jake, where do you feel that future opportunities will be found and what should we look for?
I think with artificial intelligence, there's so many opportunity areas for customers, whether it's to transform client experience, drive innovation and simplification, and ultimately to support better outcomes. Areas of consideration include things like operational efficiencies and effectiveness and accelerating digital transformation. By implementing artificial intelligence and machine learning, and specifically intelligent document processing and workflow automation, organizations are classifying and organizing their information while also unlocking value of data, leading to valuable customer insights, which in turn empowers knowledge workers and improves compliance. And again, ultimately leads to better outcomes for your customers and your business. There are also opportunities for things like new products and services that create end customer value. And we have many customers digitizing and illuminating legacy assets and content for either citizen or public use, or to create monetization opportunities. Support areas, thinking about insurance, like underwriting transformation or advanced fraud detection. And then, of course, we haven't mentioned Gen AI yet. There's really a host of new possibilities for personalized experiences, content generation, research acceleration, many, many opportunities organizations are just beginning to explore. Jake, your thoughts on future opportunities and what our audience should be looking for?
Yeah, I think that when I'm working with customers, it's really around what can you do to, I don't say retrofit, but apply the AI to make your existing business process go faster and more accurately. And always keeping in mind, like, hey, are we receiving all this paperwork from our customers, and prioritizing based on what's the biggest impact to your business. So if it's something where 1 or 2 people spend a few days a month, probably not worth spending a lot of time automating it. But if it's much more impactful for your business and it's hundreds or thousands of employees are working on something that's a primary way you use paperwork to communicate with your customers, even a 10, 20, or 30% increase in efficiency on like your first implementation would have a huge impact on your business. And that's where you would then roll out a roadmap on how you would go add additional AI to improve your process and really crank up that efficiency for your staff. And that way you also deliver much faster decisions for your customers. That's kind of the medium term doing that. And then over the, say, longer term, say a year to 3 years, you can then develop new processes or new products for your customers that are only able to be built using AI. So I'm making this up, but if you were to have a form and you didn't used to ask for free text from customers because it was too hard to process, if you can apply natural language to that to grab more information out of it, then you can go send that to your system and have a richer customer experience so you can tune your product suite to what they specifically want. You're not just forcing everybody into a checkbox that was previously easy to process. So it's really around what can I deliver a win for my business right now? And then, taking a broader view, what can I deliver for the customers in the future? Similar to like the electric vehicles, the early ones, you retrofitted an electric motor onto an older designed car. It was great, it was a big improvement, but the new cars that are designed for electric vehicles, it's a whole new capability for them. So it's similar for your business on improving your business process.
All right, how does this work in the real world? Can you give us any examples or use cases that you feel have been particularly successful using this approach? What did they do and what were the results?
Sure. Yeah, so the customer that comes to mind is Elevance, also known as Anthem, and they've been working on improving their document processing related to their claims for a few years now. And they started off with initial efficiency, but now they've gotten it up to 90+% improvement to a segment of their claims processing. And it's not that most customers don't start off at a 90% improvement. It's really what can you deliver as a quick win around using the classification and grabbing the important information you need out of your docs, sending it to the next step in the business process, and then tuning the business processes that live, before you get your documents and then after. So let's say I'm submitting something and I forgot to sign it. In the old days, it would have taken weeks for me to have gotten a letter that says, "Hey, Jake, you forgot to sign something." It's a pain. Nobody's happy about that. Versus when you can process documents much faster and say, "Oop, right away, you forgot to sign that." Then you can send a note to the customer, say via email or an app, and then you say, "Oh, then I take it as my customer, the Jake." It's like, "Oh wow, I forgot to sign this. I'll fix it right away, and I'll get my claim paid faster." So it's all of these business process changes that happen because you're processing the documents faster that really increase not just the employee NPS of not looking at claims that don't have a signature, but the customer, because then you're able to deliver a much faster experience for the customers. And it's that roadmap to really start off with a quick win and then improve the win over time to really maximize the efficiency.
All right, very good. Well,
Anything you
Helene,
want to add on that, Helene?
Sure. I think there are so many use cases across really all industries, like Jake mentioned. Across all industry, there are documents, right? So I think about our financial services customers. Mortgage and insurance come to mind immediately. Iron Mountain has a number of mortgage customers, and really automating the manual classification and data capture of hundreds of documents per borrower and eliminating that stare and compare activity and really providing advanced workflow for exception management have really provided major benefits to those that have moved forward with machine learning based classification and enrichment using intelligent document processing. And those benefits are, regulatory and investor compliance, which have both financial and brand implications, better quality loans, and also a better employee experience. For insurance, I think, there's a number of legacy assets. Iron Mountain, has been in business for 72 years, and we have, documents for insurers, both physical and digital. And really for insurers, having an omni-channel ingestion engine has been really, really beneficial. And the ability to search across legacy policies and claims to better understand risk exposure and support a better customer experience during the claims process has been tremendously beneficial. And then lastly, we have many media and entertainment customers. And so if you think about all of the legacy audio and video, being able to digitize and illuminate that content for monetization, for research, for education is incredibly valuable. And the tools are getting better and better.
In what ways can you describe how folks are using the approach to monetize and build revenue streams?
Sure. Jake, do you want to take that?
Yeah. So an example where you can essentially get a new revenue stream or crank up your existing one is, let's just take underwriting, for example. previously, if there's, brokers, they might call a few different carriers and say, hey, broker might not, if you take 5 days to get your client or get your quote out to the broker and your competitor takes 1 day, guess who the broker is going to share? They're not going to wait till Friday to get your quote. They're going to share it on Tuesday, your competitors. And so being able to speed up your process will help, even though you're not doing anything different as an insurance company in this case, you're able to get them out faster and capture a better share of business from that broker channel, as well as you're also able, let's say as an underwriter, they like their jobs more too. So if you're an underwriter, you don't have to go look at something. It's like, this is incomplete, it's a hassle. Believe it or not, underwriters really like making tough credit decisions. Like that's what they do. And so if you can give them the right information so they can make kind of a tough human call of like, what are we rated? What are we going to go price this as? Makes them happy. And it also makes your brokers happy because you have the quotes in the hand and they can go sell it to the customer. So it's a huge difference of moving from it took 5 days down to 1 day when you can apply that AI to go faster for your business.
And I think to add to that, Jake, specifically in insurance, there's also, because you have the data, you have the insights, and oftentimes there are auto denials based on specific conditions. It really opens a door to insure against new risks, which creates a new potential revenue stream as well.
Helene and Jake, how does Iron Mountain and AWS help us with all of this? What are some next steps or resources that you can suggest?
Sure. Well, Iron Mountain's been in the business of protecting and preserving information and valuable assets for our customers for 72 years. I've been fortunate enough and had the privilege to work with customers at Iron Mountain for over 22 years. And we've been supporting our customers on their digital transformation journeys, wherever they may be on that journey, for well over 15 years. And our purpose is to protect and elevate the power of our customers' work. So Iron Mountain helps customers really across the information management lifecycle, providing a turnkey managed service approach for our customers, from managing document collection and intake, providing secure chain of custody and logistics, and then digitization and ingestion services. And then the magic is really, we use artificial intelligence and machine learning, including AWS's suite of products and services, including Amazon TextRack, Comprehend, and Transcribe, plus custom built models to really classify and extract all of the value of content at ingestion, at the entry point. And then we complement it with human in the loop. So we're turning unstructured content into usable insights and data that can be moved into downstream workflows, support customer interaction, elevate the work experience, the employee experience, which is incredibly important. And for our audience today, we support policy applications. So we understand what we have earlier in the life cycle, and we can apply policy to ensure compliance, and of course, provide a modern user experience for our customers. So ultimately, we work to understand our customer challenges and build a comprehensive solution using people, process, and the most advanced technology to deliver end customer value. Jake, I know at AWS you're seeing tremendous progress and success with your customers. Can you share with our audience and also suggest some resources that might be available?
Yeah, so at AWS, we're able to apply, our AI helps customers process their documents a lot faster. And I mentioned earlier, there's kind of two big paths you can go down. The first is, build it yourself using the APIs, and we have full documentation available, but, be prepared to go spend engineering resources to do that. So for some customers, it's a great fit. But for customers that says, hey, I want to spend my engineers someplace else and I need to get going faster. So again, it's really around what's your opportunity cost of spending those engineers and taking the extra time to go build something bespoke versus using something that's available via AWS Marketplace, such as Insight. It's really about what will meet your business goals kind of fastest and also help you, be frugal. Like that's one of our values at AWS is how can you implement this in a frugal way, and being able to go grab that off of AWS Marketplace is the fastest way to do that. If you have any questions around, does the AI, how will it help with my documents? We do also have another frugal way to go check it out. And so all you need is an AWS account. Then you go sign in and go search for TextRack. That's the name of our AI service that processes documents. And you can upload your documents anywhere up to 150 of them per go and see the AI work on your document. And so you go to TextRack, on the left-hand rail, it says bulk document uploader. Click on it, upload your test documents, and everything stays nice and secure in your own account. So you can try it with your own PII or PHI documents, no problem, it's in your account, it's secure, and actually see the AI's impact. So are we able to go grab, the fields you need off of your form? You can ask questions of documents. So what day was this person born? When was their insurance number? You can get that information, bring it back. And then once the information's there, then the easiest way to actually implement it is with Insight. And so that way you can put it into the rest of your business process, because grabbing the information out of the documents is just one part of the process. It's really around applying the business rules that make sense for your business. So that way you can send the information to the next step in your business process at the quality you need to. And that often includes human in a loop. AI is not a magical fix for all problems. It makes a prediction of what's in your document. And so it's great to apply the business rules and then have the human check it as needed to make sure it lands in your systems. And the easiest way to, going back to the insurance example, if you process your claim accurately, you're not going to have a really expensive appeal. Same thing if you're in another industry and you get the paperwork right first, you don't propagate an error into a downstream system, which is where it gets crazy expensive for people. So spending the time to get the quality right initially almost always is the best investment for you.
And I think, Jake, we've talked about insurance a few times today. Sometimes the claims experience is the only interaction a customer may ever have with an insurer. So it's critically important that it's processed accurately and they have a great customer experience.
Yeah, same thing with the banks. That's my
Yes.
That's my experience working with my home loan. That was my experience with them, and since then I've been kind of a passive customer. But that experience with the paperwork really colors what customers think about you. It's like, hey, I had a great experience. I'll keep being a great passive customer for you for years to come.
Well, very good. I'd like to thank Helene and Jake for being with us. Helene Fox, Global Director of Digital Solutions at Iron Mountain, and Jake Hoskins, Document Processing Specialist at AWS. Helene and Jake, thank you so much for being a part of our event today.